Happy Monday. Today is January the 11th. Thanks for joining us. And yes, I'm in my Alabama gear because Alabama plays Ohio State in the national championship tonight. So, roll tide. That has nothing to do with anything, but it's exciting for me. Do you have a life verse? Do you have a verse of scripture that kind of is your motto, a lot of people have the Philippians verse, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. The Jeremiah verse, for I know the plans I have for you, plans for you to prosper, not for you to fail. Mine is Jeremiah 33:3, where God says to the prophet, call to me and I will answer you, and I will show you great and wondrous things that you know nothing about. That's always been a fascinating verse, that God is waiting for you to invite him to be part of your life just so he can show you things that you can't understand, that you can't explain, that are just part of the mystery of who he is. Jesus had a life verse. And when he came to Nazareth in chapter 4 of the Gospel of Luke, they hand him a scroll, scriptures, and he finds the opening verses of Isaiah 61. That's what he reads. They are the defining verses of Jesus' ministry. If you want to understand the mission of Jesus, understand these words. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. It comes from a section of scripture called 2nd Isaiah. There's Isaiah 1 through 39, where the main focus is Assyria and the rule of Hezekiah. There is 40 through 66, where the main focus is Babylon. And it almost seems like the people are already in Babylonian exile, longing to come back. In that time of Israel's history, a new understanding comes about who Messiah is, and we have the passages of the suffering servant. That's the passage that Jesus chooses to read. It's the passages about the suffering servant. That's who defined him. That's what defined him. That he was going to be the one to gather up all of the failures of humanity, all of the sins of the world, and bear them. By his stripes we are healed. That's a section of scripture that Jesus wrote, that read. That was what defined him. This understanding of the Messiah in 2nd Isaiah. What's your life verse? What passage of scripture defines you? Do you have one? If you don't, this would be a good day to find one. I'll give you 60 seconds to get started, and I'll see you tomorrow.